Hi, my name is Dave Persons and I'm a retired pastor who lives here in Hamburg, New York. On this last day of the year 2009, I'd like to offer you one of my personal resolutions for 2010. That is, I'm going to be much more cautious about getting involved in politics or political issues. You know, there's nothing more divisive, it seems to me, than political issues and issues that are current in the world in which we live in. These issues can tear us apart personally, can also tear us apart in our families. And I know that I've contributed my part to divisive issues and thinking that I knew what was best, and then later realized I only just knew a little bit of the whole issue. Hardly a day goes by when I don't get emails and advice about what I should believe about this and that. All these issues that are hot buttons going on in the world today. Well, for the coming year, I'm making a resolution that I'm going to reply and speak to these less and less. Recently, I've been concluding a wonderful book written by Joseph Ellis on the life of George Washington. Somewhat almost surprisingly, the title of the book is the popular title that General Washington wanted for himself during the War of Independence, titled His Excellency. It's a great book. But reading that book along with a recent one by David McCullough on the life of John Adams, and then during the last summer I read one by Richard Carradine on the life of Abraham Lincoln, I have realized that even then, among these heroes, these pillars of our country, that betrayals and hatred and backbiting and egocentricism of their lives, the power that they wanted, the fame they wanted to be remembered by, it was the same back then as it is now. They betrayed each other. They attacked one another. It's endless. In fact, nothing that goes on today is probably as bad as it was in the early years of our country. What makes it appear so much worse today, I assume, is the instantaneous of it all on television, on computers, on iPods, on text messages that come automatically into our little phones that we carry around. It seems like that everybody seems to hate everybody, and that our country is more polarized today than it's ever been about issues. So we argue about such things as, is there global warming or not global warming? We argue about economics. Is the country going to end soon because of spurious figuring of recovery? And then there's all this debate going on about health plan coverages. You would think that some on one side are all communists, are for the end of the world, end of the country, and the others feel that they're just as right and their beliefs of what should be done and not be done. People don't speak to each other about this. Politicians are nasty to one another, and we are nasty to them. This year I am making a resolution to drop out of that kind of attack, that kind of civil debate which really is endless. Because when we really think about it, who really knows? Who really knows all the answers about global warming, about economic theories, about health coverage theories, about keeping rid of the evildoers in the world theories, about how much we should go to war and not? It's an endless debate, and it will never stop. That's just the way the world is. Now, a part of my coming to this new resolution was this awakening a few years ago that I'm really not part of this world. I'm really not. But that I'm one with God as God's son, or you as God's daughter. And in that sense, I'm immortal. I'm above the timeless, the time and space-filled world in which we live in. And when I continue to awaken to that concept and all of its ramifications in my life, it's so liberating. So I can be in the world and I can listen to the debates and I can offer an opinion. If they don't like it, well, that's okay. If they do, that's okay too. But don't take it so seriously. Use caution. This world was made as a place where solutions are just not there. It's an endless, futile search for answers. It's all these perceptions that are just colliding with one another and within ourselves. But a spirit understanding that we are one with God, that's just not perception, it becomes an experience. It's like a knowledge of oneness, of peace with all creation. And it's a part of all people. Among evildoers, among do-gooders, we're all the same. So this year, one of my freeing resolutions is I will not get caught in those debates on right and wrong. It's like the Apostle Paul, one of those early writers of the church, said, "Now we only see through the glass darkly." In another book or letter he wrote, "Whoever thinks he knows nothing as he should." We're all sort of like, and I'm here paraphrasing again the great Shakespeare, we're like strutting and dancing across the stage of life, shouting and pontificating, and it doesn't amount to anything. It's just dust. Now I know that in many churches that's very important. Issues of justice, the good and the bad, this whole duality which envelops our world. I was trained in that. In fact, as a Presbyterian minister, many sermons are just opinions on issues of the day. That was a part of our history. It only has a tendency to make people more threatened, more angry with one another, rather than to see that which is common. So many of these sermons, many of these lectures have apocalyptic warnings about what will happen if we are not followed in our opinions, that which the church has uttered. Well, the church has uttered some opinions which have been devastatingly wrong, affecting millions of lives. So caution, take it easy. Just realize and let the world be as it is. It's like an attack on that which is complete. It's an attack on that God which is one. And so let it be that way until it runs its course of time and space. Meanwhile, I pledge to focus myself anew throughout 2010 on that kingdom which has no end, which has no debate, that just is. It's quiet, and it's peaceful, and it's eternal. Well, that's my resolution for 2010. I hope that you will have a peaceful 2010, a happy, blessed new year. And don't take things perhaps quite so seriously, things that are just things. But spend time each day in quiet with that which is changeless, immutable, immortal, and knowable at the deepest level. Good day and God bless. Namaste to you all.